Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Madison Square Garden Training Center, Greenburgh, New York. Today we're here to introduce 3 new free agent signees by the New York Knicks: Joakim Noah, Brandon Jennings, and Courtney Lee. Before we bring them out and hear from them, we're going to hear from our president, Phil Jackson, our general manager, Steve Mills, and our head coach, Jeff Hornacek. After that, we'll have a brief Q&A with our media in attendance, and then our photo opportunity. So I'd like to first start with Phil Jackson.
Thanks, Jonathan. Welcome, family members and agents that have helped us accumulate this roster, put it together over the last 2 weeks or so. I say that because really the initial beginning of this started with the trade for Derrick Rose, and it kind of accentuated how we're going to approach this free agent year, the direction that we wanted to head towards. A team with a little more experience, a little more competitive power, and a team that we hope will be able to mesh their talents together and provide us an opportunity to challenge in this Eastern Conference. Steve and I have worked closely with our staff over the last 3 days of July, actually the week before starting the free agency. And as we've gone through this, we found nothing but very cooperative and ready people to deal and help us put this roster together. We think the players that we've been able to attract to this team complement each other. And I think the audience that we have in New York will appreciate these players.
All right, thank you, Phil. Next, General Manager Steve Mills.
Yeah, thanks for coming out today. I think as Phil mentioned, when we made the Derrick Rose trade, that set us down a path that everyone became more energized about. The team, we were able to lay out what we wanted to try to get accomplished in free agency. The picture became much clearer for us, and I think we were able to get the guys that we wanted to be part of this group to move forward with. I think we were able to do it by putting together a more competitive team immediately, but also not sacrificing anything moving forward in terms of potential room with the cap as well as draft picks. And I really think, what happened with a guy like Lance Thomas to me was indicative of how players were feeling about our team. I mean, Lance called me probably 4 times from the time we made the trade. And then on July 4th, we were in Orlando, and he called me to wish me a happy 4th, but he also told me, listen, Steve, I called my agent. I told him I want to be on the Knicks. I don't want to talk to any other teams. I don't want to have any other conversations. Just figure out a way to make me part of the team. I'm really excited about where you guys are moving. So that was sort of generally the feeling that players had about what we were getting accomplished. So for us, that was a really positive sign.
All right, thank you, Steve. And next, head coach Jeff Hornacek.
Just to piggyback on what Phil and Steve had said, a couple weeks ago when they made the trade for Derrick, I said, hey, that's great. We got Carmelo, KP, Derrick, maybe 1 or 2 other guys still under contract, but who's the rest of the roster? And these guys have done a great job of filling in guys that are going to play a big role in this team. There were several holes at that point, and they've plugged them all, I think, perfectly. And I'm excited to see these guys, the new guys. When you see them on other teams, I admire them from afar, watching them play, what they did for their teams. And I think the biggest thing is that these guys have found team guys that want to win, want to go out there and lay it out there. And that's what's exciting for a coach, is to have a group of guys now that we know who we have. And after talking to all of them, seeing what they say about how excited they are for the season, it's a great start.